Kevin Costner seemed to have it all. 18 years of marriage to Christine Baumgartner, 3 beautiful children, and a sprawling ranch in Colorado. On the surface, a perfect life. But in February 2023, everything changed. Christine discovered something hidden in that car, a secret so shocking, it pushed her to file for divorce just 2 months later. It wasn't a woman's number, it wasn't gambling debts. It was something far worse, something Kevin had kept secret for years. This discovery explains why she refused to explain her actions in court, and why the world suddenly saw Kevin Costner in a completely new light. Kevin Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, the youngest of 3 boys. Tragedy struck early. One of his brothers never made it past birth, leaving a quiet shadow in the home. His parents, William and Sharon, worked tirelessly to make ends meet. William started as an electrician and slowly climbed into a utilities job, while Sharon devoted herself to welfare work. Life was far from easy. The family moved constantly, chasing jobs and stability, sending Kevin through tough neighborhoods like Compton in the late 1950s and early 1960s. At just 5 feet 2 inches during his early teens, Kevin became an easy target for bullies. Each school change forced him to start over, to rebuild himself from scratch, never forming lasting roots. He grew up in a strict Baptist home with German, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and Cherokee heritage, but mostly, he carried the weight of instability. Despite feeling invisible, Kevin found refuge in football and choir. By age 7, a screening of How the West Was Won in 1962 ignited a lifelong fascination with wide-open landscapes, danger, and heroism. Even fistfights on his street felt cinematic, shaping the roles he would later embody without ever explaining it publicly. At Villa Park High, Kevin was still the shy, unsure kid writing poems about feeling lost. He moved repeatedly, Compton, Orange County, Ventura, Visalia, before finally graduating in 1973. He was never a star athlete or standout student, but his quiet persistence hinted at a creative spark waiting to emerge. He studied marketing at California State University, Fullerton, a safe choice. But everything changed in 1975 when he sat next to Richard Burton on a flight. Burton's words cracked a door open, "You have something inside that could work on screen." That small encouragement set Kevin on a path that would change his life forever. Kevin joined a community theater group, juggling rehearsals with classes, graduating in 1978. His first paying role came in 1981, in Sizzle Beach, USA, earning $250 for weeks of shooting. Tiny, almost invisible, yet enough to convince him that Hollywood might be a place to survive. He married college sweetheart Cindy Silva in 1978. Their daughter Annie was born in 1984. But the early years were tough, acting didn't pay, and Kevin took any role he could get, from truckers to backstage work. Cindy carried more of the burden than she should have, yet Kevin never gave up. Small roles in Chasing Dreams, 1982, and Table for Five, 1983, allowed him to experiment, improvise, and make even minor characters feel real. But one audition in 1983 almost ended in tragedy. During a scene for The Bodyguard, an actress began drowning. Kevin dove in, saving her life. That day cemented his commitment and courage, not just on screen, but off it. By 1985, Kevin and friends started a production company. They were broke but hungry, determined to tell stories inspired by the westerns he loved as a kid. This ambition and stubbornness would define his rise. 1987 was Kevin's breakout year. The Untouchables cast him as Elliot Ness opposite Robert De Niro's Al Capone. The $20 million film earned $16 million worldwide, instantly putting Kevin on Hollywood's map. The shoot was dangerous, especially the train explosion. Kevin nearly walked off over safety concerns, but the film's success changed everything. Later that year, No Way Out stunned audiences and solidified his reputation as a serious actor. Bull Durham, 1988, followed, where Kevin played Crash Davis. Many of his iconic lines were improvised, showing audiences his ability to make every character human, relatable, and memorable. Then came Field of Dreams, 1989. Kevin believed so passionately in the project that he funded reshoots himself. Opening in just 22 theaters, it eventually made $84 million worldwide and turned Kevin into more than a star. It made him a symbol of hope and belief. He also earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that year. But with fame came strain. His marriage to Cindy Silva cracked under the pressure of stardom. Rumors of distance and infidelity spread, and by 1994, their marriage ended. Cindy reportedly received an $80 million settlement, a record-breaking figure at the time. Kevin's career soared in the 90s with Dances with Wolves, 1990, a passion project he financed with $3 million of his own money. Filming on South Dakota plains in freezing conditions, he immersed himself in Lakota culture, hiring elders to ensure authenticity. The risk paid off. The film won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. Success elevated Kevin, but personal struggles continued. In 1996, actress Bridget Rooney gave birth to Liam, Kevin's son. Initially denying paternity, Kevin later confirmed it in 2002 via a DNA test, setting up a trust fund but remaining mostly distant. The scandal fractured his public image and highlighted the complexity of his private life. By 1998, he met Christine Baumgartner. They married in 2004 after a brief split in 2002 over the desire for children. Together, they had 3 children, Hayden, Hayes, and Grace, creating the image of a peaceful family life on their Colorado ranch. But the long shoots and stress of Kevin's career, especially Yellowstone, created distance. In 1991, Kevin starred in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, earning worldwide acclaim despite criticism of his English accent. Then came JFK, 1991, The Bodyguard, 1992, and A Perfect World, 1993, each adding layers to his growing legacy. But the mid-90s brought challenges. Waterworld, 1995, became the most expensive movie ever made at the time. Hurricanes, blown budgets, and on-set tension with director Kevin Reynolds nearly sank the film. The Postman, 1997, further highlighted the risks Kevin took, opening against Titanic and earning only $27 million worldwide. Kevin's career wasn't over, but the golden run had slowed. He stepped back, focusing on polo, environmental causes, and careful role selection. Films like Tin Cup, 1996, and 13 Days, 2000, allowed him to rebuild, while Open Range, 2003, and The Upside of Anger, 2005, showcased his skill as an actor-director in more grounded, character-driven work. Man of Steel, 2013, gave him another memorable role as Jonathan Kent, particularly a tornado sacrifice scene that became iconic for its emotional depth. Kevin returned to prominence with Hatfields and McCoys, 2012, and Yellowstone, 2018. Hatfields and McCoys earned him an Emmy, while Yellowstone turned him into a modern Western icon. Performing his own horse stunts at 68, he commanded $1.3 million per episode. However, tensions arose during the production of Season 5. Costner requested $12 million for the second half, leading to pay-cut negotiations and stalled production. Eventually, he exited the show in 2024, marking one of the largest television contract disputes in decades. Horizon, Kevin's $100 million epic, premiered in 2024. Funding challenges forced him to mortgage his land and contribute $38 million personally. While the first chapters were released, the final 2 remain unfunded, a shadow reminiscent of Waterworld. In 2025, stunt double Devin Labella sued, claiming she was forced into an unscripted assault scene. The courts allowed the case to proceed, confirming safety protocols were broken. The scandal turned the set into a media battleground. Kevin's personal life remained just as dramatic. Divorce filings in 2023 revealed hidden assets, extravagant spending, and tense negotiations over child support. Christine Baumgartner demanded $248,000 monthly, though the judge settled on $63.29. Court filings revealed extravagant purchases, including a Porsche Cayenne purchased from joint funds just before the filing. Baumgartner later moved on, marrying financier Josh Connor in January 2025, while Kevin focused on his children and rebuilding his life. Kevin Costner's life is a tapestry of triumph, scandal, and resilience. From a bullied kid in Compton to Hollywood's leading man, his story reveals how personal choices, career ambition, and unforeseen scandals collide. Through marriages, affairs, lawsuits, and cinematic risks, Kevin remains a figure defined by persistence and ambition. Even as Horizon's chapters remain incomplete, and past scandals linger, one thing is clear: Kevin Costner will continue to chase his vision, on screen, on set, and in life itself. Despite fame, Kevin's role as a father was never simple. Balancing 7 children across multiple relationships created constant tension. Liam, born in 1996, remained a secret until a DNA test revealed the truth years later. Meanwhile, his children with Christine, Hayden, Hayes, and Grace grew up on the Colorado ranch under the shadow of their father's legendary career. Kevin tried to offer them stability, but long shoots, travel, and legal battles often left the children in limbo. Interviews with former crew members suggest he often carried the weight of fatherhood alongside his Hollywood responsibilities, rarely allowing the two to mix peacefully. Yellowstone was more than a show, it was a cultural phenomenon. Kevin's John Dutton became an icon of modern Western storytelling. Yet behind the scenes, tensions ran high. Negotiations over salary, creative control, and contract extensions created a rift with the studio. Kevin's insistence on authenticity, performing dangerous stunts, controlling storylines, clashed with the network's desire for profit and efficiency. The result? Season 5 ended with a delayed finale and a publicized contract dispute. Even at the peak of success, Kevin's ambitions sometimes made him a target for criticism. Horizon was Kevin's ultimate personal project, a 4-part epic spanning decades, funded partially from his own pocket. It reflected everything he had learned from successes and failures, a culmination of his vision for storytelling. The first chapters premiered in 2024, but the final 2 remain unfunded, leaving Kevin in the position of carrying his dream alone. Critics acknowledged the ambition but noted pacing issues. Yet, for Kevin, finishing Horizon isn't about box office numbers, it's about completing the vision he's carried since 1988. Off-screen brought more challenges. In 2025, stunt double Devin Labella sued Kevin over an unscripted assault scene on the set of Horizon Chapter 2. The case revealed that safety protocols were violated, causing public backlash. The union confirmed the rules were broken, and Labella was not rehired. The situation turned a highly anticipated film into a media battleground, testing Kevin's reputation and highlighting the high stakes of large-scale productions. Kevin's net worth, estimated around $145 million, could not shield him from personal challenges. Court filings from his divorce with Christine Baumgartner revealed luxury purchases, extravagant spending, and contested child support. Even with wealth, the marriage ended painfully, showing that money alone cannot fix strained relationships. Baumgartner demanded $248,000 monthly in child support, though the court settled on a lower figure. The financial dispute, combined with the media scrutiny, turned private heartbreak into a national headline. After the divorce, Kevin briefly dated singer Jewel in late 2023, while Christine moved on, accepting a proposal from financier Josh Connor in January 2025. Kevin publicly stated he has no plans to marry again, focusing instead on his children and rebuilding a quieter life. Even in his personal trials, he emphasizes resilience, the same theme reflected in Horizon, where characters move forward despite devastation. Kevin Costner's legacy is more than box office numbers or awards, it's about the influence he's had on Hollywood storytelling. From Dances with Wolves to Yellowstone, he pushed boundaries, championed authenticity, and inspired generations of actors. Even his missteps, like Waterworld and The Postman, reflect a willingness to take risks. Kevin's story teaches us that success in Hollywood is rarely linear. It's about persistence, vision, and the courage to fail and try again. Kevin Costner's life reads like a Hollywood epic, full of triumph, scandal, love, and heartbreak. From the streets of Compton to the peaks of Hollywood fame, from Secret Children to high-stakes productions, his story is a reminder that even legends face struggles unseen by the public eye. He continues to chase his dreams, balance family obligations, and navigate the complexities of fame. Kevin Costner may be a star on screen, but his greatest story remains the one he's living every day, full of challenges, resilience, and an unbroken drive to keep moving forward. Outside of Hollywood, Kevin Costner has always been deeply passionate about the environment. From his early ranch life to his investments in water purification and energy projects, Kevin sought to make a tangible impact. His interest in environmental causes became more public after the Deepwater Horizon disaster, when he partnered with Stephen Baldwin on oil spill cleanup devices, though this later led to a legal dispute. Kevin's environmental work shows a side of him rarely seen in tabloids, a man committed to leaving a positive mark on the world beyond film. Kevin's life has never escaped the spotlight. From Secret Children to rumored affairs, tabloids dissected every choice. His public image became a careful balancing act. One misstep could spiral into headlines, while every success was magnified. The discovery of Liam, the divorce from Cindy, and later the Baumgartner scandal became fodder for national discussion. Even routine purchases like a Porsche Cayenne were framed as evidence of marital tension. In Kevin's world, privacy was a luxury he rarely enjoyed. Despite controversies, Kevin used his platform to elevate others. In Dances with Wolves, he cast Graham Greene, a relatively unknown actor at the time, and Greene received an Oscar nomination. Kevin's insistence on authenticity, whether using real buffalo in Dances with Wolves or real horses in Open Range, created opportunities for lesser-known talent to shine. His mentorship extended beyond casting. He often guided young actors on set, instilling a sense of discipline and respect for the craft. Kevin's career is defined by risk. Some call him a visionary, others, a reckless ego. Films like Waterworld and The Postman highlight both sides, ambitious, groundbreaking ideas that sometimes backfired financially. His insistence on controlling scripts, directing choices, and stunts fueled tension with studios and co-stars. Yet this same drive produced some of the most memorable cinematic moments of his generation. Kevin embodies the double-edged nature of Hollywood ambition, the same qualities that make legends also make headlines. Despite setbacks, Kevin's work has earned immense respect. Dances with Wolves won 7 Oscars. Hatfields and McCoys earned him an Emmy. Yellowstone redefined modern Western television, proving his influence extends beyond film into serial storytelling. Colleagues describe him as meticulous, demanding, but fair, a director and actor who will push everyone to achieve the best possible result. His ability to straddle film and television, acting and directing, sets him apart in Hollywood history. Fans remain fiercely loyal to Kevin, even amid scandals. Social media, interviews, and conventions reveal admiration for both his talent and his humanity. Even after legal battles, divorce, and public disputes, viewers connect with the characters he portrays, the everyman, the hero, the father. Kevin's appeal is enduring because his roles reflect struggles, resilience, and morality, mirroring aspects of his own life. Horizon, despite financial and legal obstacles, remains Kevin's personal obsession. Mortgaging his own land and investing millions personally, he refuses to let the project die. Even with the first chapters completed, the final installments remain in limbo. Kevin's determination reflects a lifetime philosophy. No matter the setbacks, he will see his vision through to the end. Horizon isn't just a film, it's the embodiment of every risk, triumph, and lesson Kevin has learned over decades. Now in his late 60s, Kevin faces a new challenge: legacy. How will he be remembered, not just as a star, but as a man, a father, a filmmaker? Every career choice, personal decision, and scandal contributes to this narrative. Kevin himself has said in interviews that his greatest fear is not leaving behind films, but leaving behind stories of resilience, integrity, and vision. Kevin Costner's life is the ultimate cinematic story, full of highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks, love and scandal. From Compton streets to Hollywood's golden stages, from ranch life to Emmy-winning performances, he embodies persistence, vision, and relentless drive. Even the most celebrated lives carry secrets. Beyond the publicized children and divorces, whispers of past relationships, brief affairs, and hidden connections followed Kevin for decades. One such rumored connection involved Naomi Irian in the 1990s, never fully confirmed, but part of Hollywood's murmurings. Kevin managed to keep most of these private, protecting both his image and his children. Yet, every revelation reminds the public that no amount of fame can fully shield a person from scrutiny. Kevin's dedication to realism often came at a cost. From dangerous stunts on Hatfields and McCoys to horse-riding sequences on Yellowstone, injuries and exhaustion were constant companions. Even at 68, he performed long, grueling stunts. Crew members recall hours in freezing rain or blazing sun, Kevin insisting the authenticity mattered more than comfort. This commitment earned respect but also created tension, as producers worried about safety and insurance risks. Throughout his career, Kevin's image was constantly negotiated. Paparazzi, gossip columns, and social media dissected every step. Even mundane moments, luxury purchases, family vacations, or minor disputes, became fodder for speculation. Kevin learned to navigate this world carefully, often speaking minimally and letting his work speak louder than words. Beyond fame, Kevin prioritized fostering talent. From casting emerging indigenous actors in Dances with Wolves to guiding young stars on Yellowstone, he shaped careers quietly but significantly. He emphasized authenticity and emotional truth, teaching others that preparation, patience, and respect for craft outweighed flash or fame. Kevin's legacy is not just on screen, it lives in the careers he helped build. Kevin's financial decisions were as bold as his career moves. Mortgaging land for Horizon, investing in environmental projects, and funding ambitious films like Waterworld revealed a man unafraid of risk, but also exposed him to public and private scrutiny. Some investments succeeded, others became cautionary tales. Through it all, Kevin never shied from responsibility, paying settlements when required and maintaining transparency in his professional dealings. Even amid lawsuits, divorces, and public scrutiny, Kevin's fans remained loyal. Social media, conventions, and fan letters demonstrated unwavering support, reinforcing his belief in storytelling and personal resilience. This support allowed Kevin to take creative risks others might avoid, knowing a core audience would follow him through both successes and failures. Hollywood changed dramatically over Kevin's career. From practical effects to CGI, from cable dramas to streaming giants, he adapted while staying true to his roots, realism, emotional depth, and storytelling authenticity. This adaptability allowed him to remain relevant across decades, demonstrating a rare combination of talent, instinct, and strategic thinking. Fame is a double-edged sword. Every success brought attention, yet every personal challenge was magnified. Kevin often reflected on the weight of public expectation, the pressures of providing for a large family, and the difficulty of maintaining genuine relationships under constant scrutiny. For Kevin, resilience became both armor and compass, a way to navigate Hollywood's highs and lows without losing himself entirely. The final chapters of Horizon remain incomplete, a dream both fragile and fiercely protected. Kevin continues negotiations, seeks funding, and refuses to compromise his vision. For him, the story is bigger than profit. It represents decades of learning, triumph, failure, and persistence, a cinematic testament to a lifetime of ambition and dedication. Kevin's children are the center of his life. 7 children, multiple households, and complicated relationships have shaped his philosophy, presence, honesty, and unconditional support. Even amid legal disputes and divorce, Kevin's focus remains on nurturing their growth, teaching resilience, and sharing lessons learned from a life lived in public view. Even a life filled with fame, awards, and scandal cannot escape quiet moments. For Kevin Costner, these moments often arrive at his ranch in Colorado, far from the cameras, where the wind whispers through pine trees and the mountains stretch endlessly into the horizon. Here, away from scripts, directors, and legal disputes, he confronts the reality of his choices. The successes that brought him fame, the projects that nearly broke him financially, the relationships that shaped his family, all coexist in these reflective hours. Kevin has said that it is in these spaces he truly understands the consequences of ambition, the fragility of trust, and the enduring value of patience. For decades, Kevin has straddled two worlds, Hollywood and family life. Each demanded everything he had, yet neither could fully consume him without consequence. He has learned that art requires sacrifice, but life requires presence. From late-night editing sessions for Horizon to school events for his children, Kevin juggles roles with relentless focus. The truth he often shares in interviews is simple: a story on screen can inspire, but a moment with your child shapes a lifetime. Setbacks have defined Kevin as much as triumphs. From Waterworld's ballooning budget to The Postman's box office collapse, critics often labeled him reckless. Yet each failure became a lesson in resilience. He learned to navigate unpredictability, to trust instinct over convention, and to keep moving even when the path forward seemed impossible. Kevin's career demonstrates that Hollywood is not a linear climb, it is a landscape of peaks and valleys, where perseverance distinguishes the legends from the rest. Horizon embodies Kevin's lifelong pursuit, a story that combines ambition, authenticity, and emotional depth. Though chapters 3 and 4 remain incomplete, he treats the project as a personal mission. He has invested millions of his own money, mortgaged personal property, and navigated countless production challenges. Critics may judge the first chapters, but for Kevin, the journey is more important than the immediate reception. Horizon is not just a film, it is the embodiment of decades of learning, sacrifices, and unwavering vision. Kevin's life teaches that every choice carries weight. Small decisions, buying a car, selecting a role, or managing a scene, can ripple outward, shaping both career and family. He has faced public scrutiny, financial risk, and personal heartbreak, yet each challenge reinforced a philosophy: integrity matters, persistence matters, and storytelling is a responsibility. Whether mentoring young actors, negotiating a contract, or teaching his children, Kevin approaches life deliberately, balancing ambition with accountability. Kevin Costner's legacy is not only in box office numbers or awards. It is in the lives he has touched, actors guided, children nurtured, fans inspired, and stories told with honesty. From Dances with Wolves to Yellowstone, from intimate ranch scenes to massive epics, Kevin has consistently sought to portray authenticity. The emotional truth behind his characters reflects his own life, a mixture of triumph, struggle, love, and responsibility. Living in the public eye comes with unique pressures. Every personal choice, from divorce settlements to family vacations, is scrutinized. Yet Kevin has mastered the art of discretion, revealing only what is necessary and keeping the rest for private reflection. His ability to separate professional obligation from personal life has allowed him to maintain dignity amid chaos. Even as headlines scream, Kevin remains grounded, focused on family, work, and long-term projects that matter most. Kevin's story inspires those who watch his films, but also those who witness his life off-screen. Ambition tempered by patience, resilience paired with humility, and creativity paired with discipline, these lessons transcend Hollywood. For the next generation, Kevin demonstrates that failure does not define you, setbacks are part of the journey, and personal integrity can coexist with professional success. At its core, Kevin Costner's life is about persistence. From struggling in Compton as a young boy to reaching Hollywood stardom, from personal heartbreak to ambitious projects, Kevin embodies the belief that determination shapes destiny. Every role he chooses, every risk he takes, and every lesson he shares reflects a life lived fully, with courage to face both triumph and failure. Kevin Costner's story is far from over. Even with completed chapters, unfinished films, legal battles, and personal challenges, he continues moving forward. His life remains a testament to resilience, vision, and the relentless pursuit of dreams. For fans, aspiring actors, and anyone facing adversity, Kevin offers a lesson: success is not measured by smooth paths, but by the courage to continue when the world is watching, and when it is not.